and you got to play all 48 minutes. And so we started slowly, got in a big hole, dug our way out, and then guys made a lot of tough plays. They were at their best when their best was needed down the stretch.
Coach, as far as I know, this is the first time in the NBA playoff history all the road teams won game one, and the second game you won. There is no more home court advantage in NBA?
It seems like it's changing, so I think just the way the game goes now, you can make up ground, I think, a lot quicker, with the way teams shoot threes. And I know, like, for the writers who are around us, they always think every lead is safe, but it's not. And so everything does matter.
Tom, on that last play, just, I guess, walk us through a little bit. It looked like Mitch and OG basically forced him to the left, and what you saw from there.
Yeah, and I thought there was good team defense on that. There was a swarm, and Tatum is so tough when he gets any speed and he's going downhill. So you need bodies in front of him, and then the pursuit from behind is also important. But I thought in the fourth quarter our defense was outstanding, and that's what we need to do for the entire game. Now we're still really concerned about the rebounding. We have to fix that.
Obviously, you don't want to get in the habit of 20-point comebacks. What does that say about the character of this team?
Well, always have the belief, I think, in each other. I think you get to the playoffs, it's about really your mental toughness, your defense, and your teamwork, and always having the belief that you could do something better and you could find a way to win, right? So it's a long game, keep playing, and that's what they did. And this team has been that way all season long. We dealt with, Mitch being out more than the first half of the season. Then Jalen took the injury in March, and they kept marching forward, and I think that's important for us. Thought Mitch gave us a huge lift off the bench. Cat was, huge, had the big putback. I think Mikal, the way he scored in the fourth was huge for us. It gave us a lot of confidence. And then, Jalen, that's Jalen. It doesn't matter what's going on in the game. He's going to be at his best when his best is needed. And timely plays, but there was a lot of hustle plays in there as well.
As it pertains to Mikal, you always talk about he's one of those guys that puts in the work. And this is the second game in a row he's come up big in the fourth quarter. What have you learned about him? What does it say about his makeup for him to keep shooting and keep going after those first two quarters?
I think one of the things I really respect about him is his demeanor. He just keeps marching forward, and he doesn't get too high, doesn't get too low, but he's a great competitor. And so just find ways to help us win. And if your shot's not dropping, play great defense, move without the ball, push the ball up the floor. I thought we got some fast break baskets in the second half. I thought that helped us a lot as well.
Hey, Tom, when you guys are down 20, Miles comes in, and how much of a spark do you think that was?
I think he and Mitch, because we were flat, and I think they came in and they provided a spark and got us going. We got some stops, and we got into the open floor. A couple shots went down, right, and then everyone started feeling a lot better. And then once we got it inside 10, we always have the belief that, we can win.
Tom, with Mitch, he's been on a lot of these switches during these first two games, and he seems to have really held his own in most of those situations. When did you feel like he was really somebody who you trusted guarding perimeter players out there?
About 4 years ago.
It was there because early in his career he hung around
the first thing, he's got great feet and anticipation. So I think the challenge was when we first got here was he's really got it's not only his defense, but he's very disciplined. And I think that was probably the piece, like for most young players. Once he got to know the players better, and then learning how to become the second jumper, I think all those things helped eliminate, the reckless fouls. And he's a huge factor. He's a hard guy to score over. So even if you score over him, it's going to be a tough shot. And so I think he's learned that. He doesn't whack down anymore. Those cheap fouls are gone.
Tom, when you think about the clutch, a lot of people consider that offensive, but now this is the second time that Mikal's come up big, the game on the line on defense.
Yeah.
Is clutch defense a thing?
Yeah, you know, like people always talk about offensive runs. I think you go on defensive runs as well. You also go on rebounding runs. You'll see guys, you know, all of a sudden, you know, they have, like Josh is a prime example. All of a sudden, you know, he has 2 or 3 rebounds, and then he'll get like 4 or 5 in a row. You know, so it's like making shots. And so I think whatever it takes for us to win, like Carl had the big and one, you know, like Mikal with timely baskets, Jalen with timely baskets, Josh with his hustle, you know, Mitch all over the floor, you know, switching, guarding, great impact. But that's a team working together.
I mean, it was no secret that you guys got OG and Mikal, but, you know, not for Boston, but with Boston in mind. And the whole, you know, Tatum and Brown to what they did tonight, they did the first 2 games. Is that kind of what you envisioned?
Well, not necessarily. I think a premium has been put on long wings in the league, you know, so, and versatility. So guys who can guard 2, 3, 4, and even, you know, point guards as well. So we got them because we felt they were good players and they could, you know, make us better. And I think the length at that position, at the wing position, is huge because you're asking guys, particularly with 5 out, to get in, protect the paint, but also to get out and cover the line. And then when the ball gets shot, to also rebound. So I think the length is very important. And, you know, and just having the versatility to play 2, 3, and 4, what it also allows you to do is do a lot more switching.
A couple more.
Coach, how critical is Hart's offense, given that they're helping a lot off of him digging, and how critical is it for him to just make shots and make plays and when the time comes?
Yeah, and I think you saw like a variety of, you know, the way he scored, like the transition and the pace are like his strengths. And then he's real clever. He plays a lot bigger than his size. So the rebounding, but also the finishing ability inside. But then he's worked a lot on his shooting. If you leave him open, he's not hesitating, just let it fly. But I think that's huge for us. And particularly if you're going to overcommit, right, we got to trust the pass, trust each other, trust your teammates, and you're going to have an advantage on the backside. Anytime you put 2 on the ball, there's advantages in other areas. And so same thing, Carl gets double-teamed all the time, Jalen gets double-teamed all the time. So just trust each other, make the right play, and usually the second pass against the blitz or the double team in the post is going to get you a high-quality shot.
So you're concerned about everything.
I am.
Can you give yourself a moment after this game ends?
No, that's the beauty of the playoffs, you know, and it really, you know, you can't get wrapped up in the emotions of it. I think it's important, you know, you look forward to the next game, but to understand, okay, it's a series, but you have to focus on the game that you're playing. You know, what is it going to take to win that game? So we know each game, right, there's going to be more force and more aggression in it, and we have to be ready for that. And so all we have to do is make sure that we're focusing on what it's going to take to win Game 3.
Coach, the Celtics took 20 fewer three-point attempts but shot the same percentage, 25%. I know it was a concern about how many shots of three-pointers the Celtics get up. Like, how impressed were you, and what was that a key to allowing you guys to come back and win, holding to that percentage, even though they took?
Yeah, and again, it's hard to say. Like, I want to look at the film to look at the quality of their shots. They have a style of play. I think they do a terrific job. They're strong on both sides of the ball. So we know we have to play for 48 minutes against them. And if you give them open shots, they're going to make them. If you give them a second crack at it, they're going to make you pay. And it's not just, you know, it's their transition also. And then what they do on the offensive board to get the kickouts and a second and third look at it, they're very quick to the ball. So we have to make sure that we're putting bodies on them. Yep.